I moved out at the age of 22. I bought a condo for about $200,000. I got help from my mother with a down payment, and I had a good job as an apprentice electrician in a union in New Jersey. But through buying a house, through taking on debt, through having a luxury car that I was leasing, and through buying furniture and a lot of stuff, I was living the normal life of a person in their 20s where I was accumulating, acquiring, and building up debt. And even with income, you can bury yourself in a hole. And as my career progressed and I got into my late 20s, I was fortunate enough not to have kids, fortunate enough really not to be married, even though was a season where I wanted a relationship, it just didn't work out. But as I got into my late 20s, I began to evaluate the fact that I was working hard, building my career, but I wasn't getting ahead because I was living above my means. And as I got into my 30s, I started to look around at downsizing and understanding financial literature. I looked at people like Dave Ramsey, who teaches living below your means. I looked on YouTube for downsizing, and eventually I found tiny homes and car living. And what I found was that to get ahead, you have to cut your expenses, maintain your income or increase it, and you have to build a lifestyle, okay, where you're able to independently support yourself. Because if you don't, you have to share the expenses with other people. And so also I wanted to move from New Jersey to Florida, so I wanted some flexibility and not be committed to something. Also, I figured at my age, I'm young enough to live an adventurous life out of a vehicle, travel when I want. I have the money to do so. Stay put when I want, get a hotel when I want. And I said to myself, well, that makes sense. Maximum flexibility for someone with their health and well-being, limited expenses, and until I figure it out. And I figure it out on my time. I don't rush on other people's time. How I got myself in debt? Peer pressure from society, my parents, and myself through insecurities. So I won't be peer pressured to buy a house, to prove that I have money, to prove that I'm doing anything. Because what I don't want to be is like someone who's been criticizing me, who's in their 60s, they live in a shared apartment because they have to. Because they didn't build up enough Social Security through their working years, they didn't build up enough savings. And so now they're in their 60s, they can't travel, they have a beat up car, they have beat up health. And so what they do is they criticize other people who are building their life, okay, or trying to figure out their life. And this guy who's in his 60s in a shared apartment because he can't afford to live on his own in his 60s, that's a shame. And that's why I tell my young nomads out there, work. I don't care if you're at Walmart. I don't care if you're in the corporate world, construction, Home Depot. My mom worked in supermarkets. She worked as a temp secretary. Okay, she come from the generation of women that didn't have a lot of leverage in the workforce. And she worked all the way up to the age of 70, okay, in a supermarket in New Jersey and Acme until her knee gave out. So I see some 60-year-old guys on YouTube who are professional critics who don't work and who criticize other people. I look at them like not good people, okay? And what I can tell you is that's the reason they live in a shared apartment, okay? And this is the reason I live in a car. And I never want to be on the hook to people I would never want to share an apartment with people like this. This is the people you share an apartment with. People who don't do, people who criticize. Because people who do figure out a way to be independent through the grace of God, through a positive attitude, and through focusing things on themselves, not other people. People who don't focus on improving their life, they become professional critics, and they have to share a room. They have to share a room, okay? And they don't have what it takes to survive in a car or anywhere else. And it's more costly to live in a car, to be honest with you. And anyone who has this experience, they know that. Why? Because, look, you can get a shared room for about $600, okay? And pretty much, guys, it's going to cost more than that per month to live out of a vehicle. Those who have actually done it, not thought about it, know that's true. Okay? And so what I can tell you, that's the flat out truth. Okay? And what I can tell you is some people think it's wise to keep bothering other people when they're not bothering them, but I tell you it's foolish. Okay? Because I don't know anything good that can come through bothering someone who is not bothering them. I don't know anything good. Okay? Because what I can tell you is I've met a lot of people in life, good and bad people, psychopaths and very passive people. And what I can tell you is if you poke someone long enough, you're going to get poked back. And you're going to be surprised, okay, at who pokes back and who doesn't, okay? And what I can tell you is None of that is a threat. That's a level of wisdom for those who want to listen to that. Okay. And what I can tell you in life is mind your business, work on your life, or else you're going to be sharing an apartment with a psychopath. Okay. Whether they're in their 60s and they're passive aggressive with a sarcastic attitude, never achieve much, and can't afford to live on their own. Okay. Or whatever it may be. And what I can tell you is I have family members who live with other people in an abusive relationship because they can't afford to live in their own apartment. But if they put some effort into their life, they can figure it out, whether it's through a subsidy or something else. There's nothing worse than to live with someone that you don't want to. You have to share expenses because you can't afford to live on your own. I also have family members, though, who live in a hotel who are subsidized. Okay, so you can figure it out if you put some effort into your life. Okay. But what I can tell you is I never want to live with a controlling person. I walked away from an inheritance with my father. Why? Because there's no amount of money that's worth it, okay, when it comes to sharing expenses or getting money, if someone's going to hold it over your head. None. Okay. And that's why some people, they have to pander to the psychopaths on their channel or in their life because they need their money. Okay, they depend on that couple $100. You think you can leave a shared apartment? You think you can block someone, tell a member, you think you can have members only? You can't do that when you're not living on your terms, when you're in a shared apartment. You can't do it. I know who I'm talking to. I know the reasons. I've lived enough life. Okay, not in theory, in actuality. And what I can tell you is, like I tell you every night, appreciation, love, empathy, and compassion to all the positive people. And what I could tell you is build your life, because there's enough negative people out there that are looking for a roommate. Okay. And what I can tell you is this is the reason a 60-year-old man lives in a shared apartment. And this is the reason a 40-year-old man would rather live in his car and have everyone think he's broke, okay, but's going to build his life so he's never in that position where he has to share anything with anyone. I can be in a hotel for $3,000 a month. I can be in a gas station because I could do it by myself, okay? But I've never done anything by myself. I've always gotten help. But what I've realized is the reason I've gotten help because I've been willing to do for myself and work as a team, okay? And when you're willing to do that, people want to work with you. But when you are a critic, not a doer, no one wants to work with you. And that's how you end up in your 60s with no social security. Okay. And I know the reasons why you live in a shared apartment. And I know the reasons why I live in a car. And I know that when you keep poking people, it's not wise. But I also know that you use everything as a teachable moment, okay? And what I can tell you guys is this is a teachable moment for the young people who are not aggressively building up their nest egg or putting enough effort into their life. This is a teachable moment, okay, to all the positive people. Don't share an apartment with a negative person. This is a teachable moment to say it's better to look like a poor person, okay, than to buy something for content or to appear rich just for peer pressure. That's why certain people have alcoholism. Look, guys, I started smoking and drinking when I was around 11 years old. Why? To impress other people. The first time I smoked a cigarette, it was horrible. The first time I drank alcohol, it was horrible. Why did I do it? To impress other people. You know how much pressure I'm getting now to buy something? Because people want to see me do something different? And I'll tell you, I'll take my time. I'll slow this motherfucker up to fucking turtle speed. I'll go on my pace. Because I will not go back to a life, okay, where other people control me, okay? It's better, okay, to let people think you don't have than try to impress them to show that. Because most people, guys, are watching me, okay, from a house. And most people live paycheck to paycheck, or they're in a shared house with someone, with a husband, with a wife, with a roommate that they don't want to be with. But you know why they're there? Shared expenses. Look, at a certain point in life, you have to decide where your energy goes. Into building or destroying. okay, into edifying, okay, or criticizing. You will look up one day and you will be 60. You'll be 70. And there's nothing wrong with being that age and being in poverty. Because I know some people that are, but you know what? They try to make the most of their life. They don't criticize other people. Like I said, guys, my mom worked for basically minimum wage at the age of 70. Okay. And she was fortunate. She had something left by her father. We were never in poverty. I would say overall middle class. I had friends that were in poverty. I've seen poverty. I've been around poverty. I've been around rich. Been around it all. And I've been around controlling people. And money is the biggest lever of control. And the biggest reason people live in a shared apartment is because they don't have the money to live on their own. And the biggest reason I live in a car because I never want to be controlled by someone else, and I want to do everything in my power to never let someone be able to hold something over my head, so that when I do buy something, if I buy something on my time, I can always be myself. I did a video early on my channel. It wasn't about other people. 99% of my videos are not about other people. They're about principles. Big difference. I did a video very early on my channel about why you live below your means, because I was working a construction job in a very nasty pharmaceutical plant in New Jersey. And during lunchtime, we took a break in a travel trailer, okay, because that's what they have at some of these job sites. And it was a hard job, and it was a bad foreman with bad character. Talk about a critic. And we were all doing dangerous work. And at lunch, everyone was stressed out, but they were eating. And there was one guy in this travel trailer at lunch in this construction site. He was never stressed. He was always smiling, but he always looked like a bum. Okay. And I remember asking him, I was like, man, what's up with this guy? I mean, he's never upset. He's always smiling. I said, he goes, Sam, you don't know? I said, no, what? He goes, this guy may look like a bum, but he's sitting on a lot of money. That guy's got a very modest house. He's got an old car. He's got no bills, got no kids. This guy lives like a king. He could walk off this job tomorrow. It wouldn't faze him a bit. He was always able to be himself. Everyone else was like everyone else. And what I tell you in life is what they can't teach you in school. Okay? And what I tell you is see past the bullshit. And the bullshit is peer pressure. The bullshit, okay, is having to live with bullshit. Live on your terms. Be a positive person that does something with your life, even if other people look down on it, as long as what you're doing is not infringing on them. But what you're going to find is other people who aren't doing that are infringing upon you because they're not happy with their own life. Okay? This is the truth of life. And I know what it is. I know the reasons. And that's the message tonight. Live comments. Thank you to all my members. Appreciation. Andre, what's up, brother? Shout out to you. Shout out to New Jersey. Shout out to all my construction workers. Roberto, you know what it is. Shout out to South Florida, the best part of Florida. Love and respect to you, all my nomads, everyone in tropical paradise. Andre, we have a ton of work now. Like the scriptures say, man, the work is plentiful, the workers are few. And what I can tell you is this, guys, if you're willing to work, if you're willing to show up, if you stay at a drama, you're going to be fine in your 60s. But I'll tell you this, if you're not willing to show up, if you get in a drama, you're going to be in a shared apartment in your 60s. That's fact. Gail, hello, Sam. Hope all is well. Gail, I love you. And what I love about Gail's videos is she always was honest. Okay. I remember her making a video one time. She said, my decisions put me here. Okay. I talked to my mom tonight. She said, Sam, we don't always make the right decisions, but our decisions put us places. I believe in the grace of God. Okay. And I believe that people like Gail, who are trying to do the best they can with what they have, will always be okay. Okay. And that she did good for herself. Why? Because Gail has her own apartment. She figured out a way. She goes for her adventure in her own way, on her own time. She don't have to answer to no one. Okay. She does YouTube on her own time. And it may not be perfect, but guess what, guys? Nothing's perfect. And Gail, salute you and God bless you. That's what I can tell you. Mary Taz, 9.99 super chat heart with a teddy bear. Looks like a squirrel that I fed in the park today. Thank God for those squirrels in those park, I tell you, because they calm me down sometimes. Mary Taz, gratitude, appreciation, and not entitlement. Thank you for that gracious tip. You know I appreciate it, and I don't take it lightly, okay? And I don't manipulate for it, okay? And I'm thankful for it, okay? Appreciation. Thank you. Um, Thank you again, Mary Taz. Uh, Marcel, hey Sam, shout out to the UK, brother. Marcel, what I tell you, brother, is do your personal training. Do it, do it, and do it, because the workers are needed, and the workers are few. Okay, Adam, $5 super chat. Sorry I missed a few live feeds. You don't have nothing to apologize, but hope you're having a good week, Sam. Overall, it's good. I'm refocusing, taking my time. Someone left a comment today that said they just got an insurance claim for a car accident. They want to know what to do. I said, well, slow down, number one. Number two is it all depends on your income, your debt levels, and then slow down, number three. And then number four is take at least a month to decide a big purchase, at least. If you have to make a decision any quicker than that, you're not in a good financial situation. Okay, guys, I could take my time. I could stay in this hotel all year. Okay, it's true. It's not financially wise, and I probably won't do that. Okay, but I'm trying to make a point, guys. I rather spend a little bit more and not rush. Okay, than to try to prove something, rush and regret. Rushing leads to regret. I've done it plenty of times in life. And even when I don't rush, there's no guarantee I make the right decision. But I'm trying, okay, to make the best decision for me, okay, so that I never have to share a life with someone I don't want to be around, okay? Because what I've experienced in life ain't worth living. When you're in that, and I hate to say that, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be negative to those who are in that situation, but you know what I mean. Do the best you can. Thank you, brother. Love to you and your family. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Mary Taj. You know I appreciate you both, and there's gratitude. Mary Taj, hello to you. Thank you again, Mary Taj. Thank you. Wendy, pay him no attention. He will go away. Well, no, psychopaths never go away, but it's all right. It's a teachable moment. You know, like I said, for me, guys, I'll take the negative energy just like martial arts. And I'm not an attacker, guys. I'm a defender, okay? I'm not a warmonger. I'm a peacemaker. But at the same time, guys, you push your limits, and at the same time, look, if you throw some blows, you keep talking about people, I'm going to use that energy, and I'm going to make it a teachable moment, okay? And what I can tell you is the teachable moment is there's a guy in his 60s, okay, that lives in a shared apartment with a channel that has 1 million views. Mine has 5 million, and I have 10,000 more subscribers than him, okay? And I can almost guarantee I got more money in the bank than him, and that doesn't make me a better man. But what makes me a better man is I don't make videos, okay, about why other people are doing what they're doing. I make videos about do what you need to do for you, okay? Because I don't want you to end up an alcoholic in a shared apartment. I rather you, okay, not impress people, okay, have your own reasons, and don't be a critic, be a creator. And if that, okay, can be used in a harnessed, I think everything I've said was fair, civilized, okay, and very good, wholesome teaching. Nothing, okay, about doing anything negative. So, but what I found is even the negative people will find a reason to be negative. So, life, you're going to meet both, okay? But like I tell you is, one thing you don't want to do is deal with negative people at work, deal with negative people in society, and then go home to a shared apartment with a negative critic. You don't want to do that, guys. Okay? Never forget it. Okay? Hal, Sam, stay up. You know I will, brother. Shout out to the BK. You know what it is. I love you, brother. Go after. You are a star. You're talented. You have everything it takes. God has blessed you, okay, with an even temperament, good customer service, okay, and leadership. Remember, Hal, if you don't start and if you don't move up the chain, there will be a manager that has half the talent, half the compassion as you, But he will be the manager. Why? Because he started and kept going. Start, keep going, leverage your experience, and then you can set the tone in the environment, because that's what happens, okay, over time as you build your life. Okay. And even if something happens like it happened, it's happened to me, you get laid off. I got laid off, guys, when I had very little in savings, a lot of debt, and you know what I had to do? Borrow money. Okay. And you know what happened? It was thrown in my face. And I said, never again. I learned. I try to learn. I don't. That's why everyone can think I'm dead, broke, and destitute. They can think I'm in a trap house hotel. They can think I can't even afford my car. Guys, I don't care. Why? Hey, guys, I'm not going back. I'm going to do everything in my power, and with the grace of God, to not live a life controlled by other people, where I have to listen to their comments. Okay. I can't have boundaries. I can't have members only. I can't do things the way I want. Why? Because I can't afford to. I know what it is. Some people boast that everything I ever do will be free. They have to be free. Your whole life will have to be free. You have to be in a shared apartment doing free shit. Okay. You guys don't have to do shit free. Okay. I'm not scared to do shit free because I've done it. Okay. But I'll tell you this, I didn't do shit free, so I could always do shit free. Okay. I didn't work at the bottom to stay at the bottom. Okay. But I'll tell you to write this, if you're not willing to work at the bottom, you'll be in your 60s in a shared apartment. Okay. With a guy looking at the bottom of a fucking alcoholic bottle. Okay. And I don't even want to tell you what else he's looking at, all type of stuff. Okay. Let's stay positive. Okay. Roberto Sam gets it down to a science. Hey guys, life is not, thank you Roberto, life is not an exact science. It's a little bit of art too. Okay, but life is very simple and basic. One is, we don't fully understand it. Two is, there is a level of suffering and despair. Three is, there is some positivity, hope, and good people. Four is, while you figure it out, keep moving, keep working, because what I can tell you is life is going to pass no matter what. So you might as well get a paycheck. You might as well stay out of people's way and don't talk about people, because especially if they ain't talking about you, I don't know why you want those problems. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why people want to talk. I'm telling you, in my experience in life, I don't know. I've seen it. If you keep talking about other people and they're not talking about you, it's not a good way to live. Okay. It's just not right. Let's just keep it to that. Okay. Marcel, wise words. Hey guys, look, thank you, Marcel. I try to give something to you. Timothy, right on, brother. Appreciation, respect, and love to you. Drink more water. Keep going for a walk. And when in doubt, go for another walk. Put your earbuds in. Put Spotify on. Put your music on. Good job, Paco. I fed the squirrels today, Paco. I talked to the squirrels. And you know what they told me? Those who do not harvest the peanuts will live in a shared apartment. Okay. Those, okay, who do not go after their best life will wake up as a 60-year-old squirrel in a shared apartment. That's the reason. But for those who squirrel away, whether they live in a car, why they squirrel away, whether they live in a hotel, whether they live in a house, if they squirrel away, they'll live however they please for whatever reason they want. Okay. But I've seen a guy make videos about a woman who committed suicide for over 2 weeks because he wanted to milk out the drama because he needed the views. Okay. It was a disgrace. May her soul rest in peace. Okay. And he basically made an excuse the whole time for the cyber bully troll. The girl reached out to the guy, look, it's not the guy's fault, but I want to tell you the story. The girl who committed suicide reached out to the troll guy and said, look, I'm not talking about you, don't talk about me. But the guy's channel was going down, so you know what he did? He still made videos about her. And, you know, again, she's a public figure, and I told her, look, it's not, you know, he can't take credit for that, but look, bad guy. Okay. And two is, here's another guy, very similar, but not the same. Acts like a nice guy. Lives in a shared apartment. Okay. And he did a whole 2 weeks about the same topic of his dead nomad. Why? Because he saw that one of his videos went a little viral. He wanted to milk the shit out of it. I said to myself, what a nice guy. What a nice guy, huh? What a nice guy, man. What kind of guy would do that? Nice guy, right? I know nice people. I've been around them. Okay. I've met them all over the place. In conference rooms, on street corners. okay? In luxury communities and the projects, I know nice guys. I know nice girls. Okay? And what I can tell you guys, you don't want to share an apartment with them. Because life is sometimes not nice, and you don't need to be around not nice people. Okay? Get through life as best you can. Okay? Make something of your life. Share your life. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, when you share your life, there's someone in a shared apartment who's going to try to tear it down. Why? They're in a shared apartment. Okay? You're sharing your life. They're in a shared apartment. That's the difference. Won't they share their life? Won't they share their life? Won't they share their family? Won't they share their career? Won't they share their travels? They don't have nothing to share. Too scared to share. Nothing to share. I know human nature. It transcends age, race, religion, because I've seen it all. And what I found in life, okay, is the last thing you need, okay, is to be around people unnecessarily. You have to be around people to function in society, and you need people. None of us, I don't care how smart or strong, none of us do things alone. I would never, even I without help, I would have never be where I'm at. But I'll tell you this, you get too much help and you'll never be yourself, because people will never let you forget it. You think you can live in a shared apartment, okay, and you think you can walk around and people won't let you forget something? Oh, you're not living by yourself. You're going to have to find out what's worth it to you in life, what type of person you want to be, what type of things you want to talk about, what's funny to you, and what's fucking serious to you. That's the difference. Bullshit people think bullshit is funny. Serious people think it's sad. A 60-year-old man living in a shared apartment think it's funny. That's the difference. I think it's sad that a dead girl has to get used to supplement a 60-year-old man's Social Security. I think that's sad, B. But I'm not surprised that ambulance chasers, fake reporters, or a lot of people that do things in the name, okay, of being good or nice. Okay. Meritage, you be you. Reciprocal back to you. Suitcase, what's up, man? Shout to Tampa. Oh yeah, the beanie is on, definitely. Air conditioning. Love to you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And we're looking intense. There's a time to be intense, but we're under self-control. At not one point in this live feed am I out of control. I'm focused. Okay, I'm very much under control. I'm very much speaking a wholesome message. It's intense, but it's wholesome. There's nothing negative in it. There's nothing about bringing harm to anyone else. It's about self-awareness. And for those who get it, get it. And for those who don't, they'll never. Because they're not looking. They asked Jesus, why do you speak in parables? He goes, because people who want the truth will seek it. And those who don't will suck it. I paraphrased the last part so psychopaths can understand it. And what I can tell you is this, guys, a lot of people in life, they're not looking for anything, okay? And I can tell you this, I've looked for a lot of things in life. I went on a lot of journeys, okay? And what I can tell you is you ain't going to find a lot of stuff, but what you're going to find is it's better to live alone in a car than in a shared apartment with a critic. There's a scripture that says it's better to live alone in an alley than in a house with a contentious wife. And you can say the same thing about a contentious husband. You know what I mean. Fill in the blank. I watched my mom. I was basically the reason I pushed my mom to get a divorce. I was at 8 years old. I share my life. Some people like to talk about other people. I share my own life. Sorry. I remember, and my father was, overall tried to be best, but he was who he was, and my mom was who was. Both people play a part. Okay, but I remember my parents were just total opposite. My mom was overweight. She liked food. She was sloppy. My father was very particular, had OCD, very neat. Always talked about wearing a size 30 jeans or 32. This one critic, he wears size 32 jeans, but got a big ass beer belly. It's amazing. Sorry. But back to my story. Okay, they're two different people, my father and my mother, okay? And they probably had too many kids under pressure by society. See, in those days, in previous generation, in America and probably many other countries, you were pressured to have a family and get married by your mid-20s, definitely late 20s. See, a lot of people pressuring now, well, if you got the money, if you got the means, go ahead and buy something. I tell them, go fuck yourself. Okay. I'm not falling for that banana and tailpipe. Think I'm broke. I don't care. And I don't care if I was broke. Why? Don't matter to me. Okay. What I can tell you is this, guys. My parents were under pressure by society to be married and to have kids. Okay. And after third kids, after you have more than two kids, guys, it's overwhelming. Just like after you have more than two dogs, even that's a lot. But it just, everything is too much at that point. And so I was the third kid. I'm 8 years old. My siblings are above me. My parents are total opposite. I wanted to watch cartoons during dinner time. My father wanted everyone to sit at the table. And my father was coming home from construction. He was also working on a multifamily house, okay, that my mother's father owned. Multifamily houses are the reason for divorces, so are renovations, so are overtime, so are too many kids. And so it's too much pressure, too much stress. And so my parents are arguing. I remember one night at the dinner table, my mom wanted to let the kids kind of do a little bit what they wanted to do. My father was very particular. Everyone has to sit at the table, and there was a big fight. My father was smashing, like plates, whatever they are, not plastic plates, but ceramic plates. Okay. And it was boiling up. I could feel it for months. Okay. And I remember calling 911 on my own father. And I remember just after that was the turning point. I remember pressuring my mom in my own way, at the age of 8, to get a divorce. And, I wasn't really saying it, but like a dog is by you, not saying that, but you know what they mean, okay? And eventually my mom got a divorce. I don't know if she would have if she didn't have kids, I don't know if they would have got divorced, didn't have kids, but they were different, okay? And it was the best thing they did because they're totally opposite, but they had to share. And the only reason my mom was able to get a divorce, okay, was because her father had some property and was going to leave her some money. Without that, my father paid child support, but my father was a construction worker. His father was a janitor, okay, Italian immigrant, okay. We would have been basically in poverty with 3 kids. My mom worked 2, 3 jobs at times, even with the little bit she had from her father. But she did that so we didn't have to live in a shared environment of toxicity. Nothing is worth living in a shared environment of toxicity. Nothing. Okay. And what I can tell you is, you need to do what you need to do within your abilities, okay, to secure a level of well-being. You can't blame. I don't blame anyone, guys, because I've been fortunate because I've seen a lot of people who don't have half of what I have or have to. But I've also seen a lot of people squander what they do have, not go after what they need to, and then blame other people. I've seen it all. Okay. And I sit here as a 40-year-old man, be 41 soon, in a hotel now. Been in a car for 4 years. Okay. Almost bought a condo. Could buy one tomorrow. Could buy an RV tomorrow. I can make it all stop tomorrow. Okay. And I asked myself that, Sam, I said, you could turn this off anytime you want. I can turn off the nomad life. I can turn off my YouTube channel, and I'd still be fine. Okay. Why don't you? Well, I tell you straight up 2 things. One is the YouTube still makes more side money than it's worth it. Okay. It's still a little bit more encouraging than depressing. And with the nomad life, I still haven't found what I'm willing to commit to. But if I really didn't want to do anything, I could just be a recluse, live a simple life at this point, and it'd be nothing. What keeps you going? To be honest with you, at this point, I don't know. But I guess what keeps me going is I don't want to stop, because when you stop, the world keeps going, keeps turning. The earth keeps spinning. Even when you get depressed and when you stop, the earth keeps spinning. And I tell you this, when you're 40, do your side hustles. Don't stop YouTube, don't stop DoorDash, don't stop your main job. Why? Because when you're in your 60s, the earth is still spinning, but your legs aren't as strong. Okay? Your mind is not as sharp. Okay? You're not that marketable. Okay? You want to be in your 60s and not have enough saved? Keep doing YouTube, keep doing DoorDash, keep doing your main job. That's why I keep doing. Okay? Partly why. You know how many times I wanted to quit construction, quit other jobs? Thank God I didn't. Why? Because now I'm in a position where I could get laid off tomorrow, been there, but I have enough credentials where I think I'd be able to get another job relatively quickly. It may not be as much, but it'd be still probably above average. And even if it wasn't, even if I depend on YouTube and DoorDash, guys, I'd be doing better than most people. See, unlike other people, I've shared what I've made on YouTube, and even that sometimes is a low number, sometimes could be high. And what I can tell you is, I can make videos about whatever I want. Okay. Not many YouTubers can say that, even big ones. Why? Because they build up a budget, they build up an audience, and they have to appease and pander to their audience, even if they're psychopaths. Why? Well, they build a lifestyle based on a certain amount of income. And, they're not living in a car, living in a apartment. They're living either high on a hog or whatever. And any of us can be humbled. And I don't think I can't be. I've mentioned that several times. But I can tell you this. I know we're all going to need forgiveness. I am. But I can look back at the content of what the overall content, and I say I'm good with that. Okay. I'm good with overall my work output, overall my life output. Again, there's some exceptions where I need grace, so I don't want to be boastful here. But what I want to say is I look back and I say, with the grace of God, with the help of others, and with hard work, I'm good. Okay. Okay. If it all ends, it all ends. Okay. But I leave a body of work. Okay. And what I could tell you is some people just leave a pile of shit. Okay. A pile of shit for someone else to clean up. Okay. And some people who pass away because they can't handle the shit, there's going to be someone looking to use that drama for 2 weeks to capitalize off it because they're in a shared apartment. And that's sad, man. That's sad. I think to myself, do you know why they committed suicide? Because they couldn't handle the bullshit. But it's no one else's fault. It's their fault. They did it. But I said to myself, make one video, talk about it, use it as a teachable. See, I use that as a teachable moment about cyberbullying, about self-accountability, about depression. Some people use it as a capitalist moment, man. That's funny to me. That's a nice person right there, man. Who do you want to be in life? What do you want to be about? Who do you want to be strong for? Who do you want to pander to? All depends. Some people, man, they can't afford to not let some shit slide, man. Sometimes I look at people's comment section and it looks like their life, man. Toxic shared apartment, man. Nah, I don't want that. I'm good. I'll take less viewers. I'll take less people in my life. I'll take living in a car. I'll take people thinking I'm broke. Better than that, then take that drink, take that hit. That's how you start addictions, man. Peer pressure. Living up to other people's expectation. That's how it happens. It's a slow sedative. Okay. It's amazing that some people are scared of the vaccine, and rightfully so. But they should be scared, man. They should be scared about big purchases, about big decisions, about nice people who claim they're nice. What do I want for you? What do I want for me? Look, guys, I really don't have a grand speech about that, man. But I want to live overall, okay, a peaceful existence within my own skin, not bothering other people and not being bothered. I think that's fair. You know, and I think it angers me when I see other people bothering other people that aren't bothering them. Okay. But I understand, you know, they say when you're this public figure, okay, you have to be bothered. Well, hey, when you're in a shared apartment, okay, you definitely have to be bothered, okay? But that's okay, I'll be bothered a little bit. I'll use it as a teachable moment, okay? Use it as a very teachable moment, okay? Next comment. Paco, squirrels cling to trees, they do. Chirping at the barn cats, they do. They hold their own. Paco, I love you. You know, recently the Blue Jays and the, I don't know if they're Cardinals, but Blue Jays and there's Redbirds in the park, they also been eating the peanuts. They swoop down sometimes. And I enjoy that part of my day. It's a peaceful part. Part of the reason why I came to Florida is to walk around in a park all year round, except hurricane season, and feed the wildlife, okay? And usually there's some psychopath once in a while that's in a shared apartment that follows me and says, don't feed the wildlife. I say, don't worry about it. You're in a shared apartment, okay? I understand, okay? Let's stay positive. Timothy, money and debt free is total freedom. Well, Timothy, you know, I've been reflecting on that as my next decision. You know, buying something, do I want debt? You know, paying for a condo cash, paying for a car cash. You know, if I can get a car with 0% interest, even you get a home now for 3% interest, tough to turn up low or no interest. But I think about any decision I make. You know, last year I got debt free. One of the reasons I lived in my car, save up, get out of debt, and I've done it. Okay. And I say to myself, do I ever want to go back in debt? You know, I don't know. You know, do I want to just try to run the Jeep till it dies? I don't know. But I tell you this, I'd rather take my time. I'd rather people think I'm destitute than rush. Okay, to impress or rush just to be decisive. You know, I had some girl so insecure. She goes, I don't like when you're indecisive. I want you to be decisive. She wanted me to be Donald Trump. And that's why she dates guys like Donald Trump, and that's why her life's a shithole. She's going to be in a shared apartment soon, don't worry. And what I can tell you is this, guys. I'm not Joe Biden either. See, some people think I'm Joe Biden. They take my kindness for weakness, and it doesn't end up good. But let's stay positive. Okay. And so what I can tell you is this, guys. Be careful, okay, before you make a big purchase. A big purchase is anything over 1,000 or definitely anything over 5,000. There's no need to rush that, okay? Especially if you don't have kids and you're single, okay? Because what happens if your car breaks down? Well, if you're in a good financial position, buy a new one tomorrow or when it breaks down. And if it doesn't, ride it till the wheels fall off, okay? What if you're living in a car, you don't stay in a hotel if if the weather gets bad or you don't want to. Or rent a room. Not a shared room though. Don't do that. God bless, man. Roberto, man, love to you, brother. 100 emoji. You know what it is. Adam, good evening, brother. I appreciate you, Adam. I know you got your own struggles. I think about you, brother. I know what it is. I love you, man. Mary Toss, thank you again. I've always told myself that it's none of my business what other people think of me. No, it's not, but it's definitely part of life where we have to learn to deal with it, right? And again, this is why it's a teachable moment. Because it's part of life, But know who your friends are, man. The worst friend, man, is a fake friend, fake nice people, man. It's like, some people I always knew were bad. You just know they're bad. You stay away from them because they're bad people. You could tell. Some people, that's how it. But the worst type of person, man, is the snake, man. Like 1 minute they're nice, next minute you can't trust them. 1 minute they're smiling, 1 minute they're sober, next minute they're drinking. You don't know who these people are, man. These bad people, man. Act nice, bad people, man. The bad people, like, you stay away. But the nice, fake, those are the people that, man, that fuck you up. So just be careful, man. Andre, Sam, yesterday we had 86-degree Fahrenheit, so it was damn good. Yeah, I heard it's been warmer in New Jersey. I have thought about the possibility that after my 30 days are up, I could leave tonight, but I would say I'll probably stay to June. In June, I'm going to reevaluate. Do I want to migrate north? I'm still looking at some big purchases. So I think by June I'll kind of like get to some level of conclusion. If I don't, hey guys, options are your friends. Impressing is your enemy. Because guys, when you got options, you're not even looking at shared apartments. Guys, I got a lot of options, and let me tell you, none of the options I'm looking at include shared apartments. Okay, it includes a condo by myself. It includes an RV by myself. It includes staying, living in my car, and a hotel by myself. None of my options I'm considering are shared apartments. Why? Guys, I don't want to share my space. Hell no. Okay. There's only one reason someone lives in a shared apartment, guys. They can't afford to live on their own. Period. Is there any shame in that? No, especially not if you're doing what you got to do and keeping your mouth shut and not bothering other people. But what I can tell you is if you're bothering other people, that's the reason you're in a shared apartment, because you don't mind your business, do what you need to do for yourself. Okay? So, look, guys, this is life. Okay? Good job. Mary Taz, thank you. Adam, thank you. Andre, Sam, if I do my 20 years on the onion, I can retire with 55 years of credits. Well, there you go. Or you can be in your 60s offering free whoppers for interviews. I know someone doing that. Could you imagine being in your 60s and you got to offer someone a free whopper to get an interview? Guys, I don't know if you guys know, people that aren't in their 60s, they don't eat whoppers anymore, B. So what I could tell you, man, is slice the onions, eat the onions. But if you could retire by 55, you damn sure ain't going to be in a shared apartment at 60 offering free whoppers, man. Suitcase. Let's get right. Listen, now let's stay focused and self-controlled. Just got my license. Well, that is a moment of congratulations. Shout out to you. Handicap stick. Oh God, don't tell me this. Handicap stick is on the way. Anna, I know now. I know you're joking because you're doing a charger, and my charger is out of the shop tomorrow. Next thing you tell me you're in a shared apartment with a new ladder exhaust. Just kidding. Thank God. Okay. I love the content. You're awesome. I appreciate you too, man. God bless you. Suitcase, I'm pulling for you, man. Congratulations again on your license. It's a big accomplishment, especially for a nomad. Marcel, I have been told that personal trainers earn measly wages like $10 to $20 and $10 to $12 an hour. It's true. I told you that before you quit college. That look, you're going to top out at the very most between $20 to $25 an hour as a personal trainer. I told you keep it as a side hustle, get a main job. Okay, and I know you said, but despite that, you want to give it a shot. You can give it a shot, and you can still, as a single person with no kids, probably just get by, maybe get a little bit ahead. But you got to be extremely focused. You got to show up every day. You got to show these fat people these machines. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, if you start to get lazy, making that little of a money, you're gonna go you're gonna be in a shared apartment. Okay, you're gonna be a personal trainer to some psychopath drinking beer in the age of 60. Okay, giving out free whoppers. Say, yeah, you want to live that life? No, I'm good. Okay. So Marcel, I think it's good that you want to be a personal trainer, and I'm not even mad if you want to make it a full-time thing. But what I'm telling you is you got to be diligent, and you have to know that you're slicing that onion very thin because it's just the upside is limited. But here's what you can do. Show up every day, be a personal trainer, also become maybe a night shift manager, something else, DoorDash on the side. If you did DoorDash and you did personal training and you really hustled it, I think you can make around $3,000 a month, easy, okay? But you got to hustle it. You can, there's some people, they deny orders if they're less than $5. There's some people, I don't want to pick up side work. I don't want to do this. And what I can tell you is they're going to be in a shared apartment. Okay. So who are you to speak? You're in a hotel. I'm in a hotel by myself. Okay. I'm in a car by myself. I'm living by myself. Travel up and down the East Coast by myself. Okay. And I'm damn sure not offering whoppers for anyone else to come on this fucking channel. Okay. So, Marcel, forgive me, brother. I missed this, man. I get all worked up. Marcel, $5 Eurozone. Some people can't let things slide. Master critics. I had someone today ask me if I was out of my mind for where I parked. I wasn't in anyone's way. Yeah, well, thank you again, and I'm sorry I know I got caught up in the other comments and I was reading your comment. Marcel, thank you. And like I tell you, to all my young people, and I've been telling you since the beginning of the channel before it was monetized, okay, is that show up, okay? I made videos when no one watched, okay, and I earned my way, okay, People still watch for free, but I earn my way to memberships. Okay, there's some people say, oh, my channel will always be free. Will always be free because they know I'm gonna pay for that shit. You're in a shared apartment, you got shit to talk about. So what I can tell you is this. Okay, show up. I don't care if you do personal training. I don't care if you're a scientist. I don't look down on any work. I never have. Okay, I look down. Okay, on people who come into your space on your time, busting your chops for no reason. Okay. Okay. And I've been very consistent with that message. One of the most consistent of this channel. Okay. And what I can tell you is there's some people that don't like it. And you know what I can tell them? I don't care. I'll never share an apartment with them. Okay. Don't matter to me. Okay. Because the thumbs down is free, but the membership's not. Okay. So what I can tell you, okay, is that cheap people, okay, are critics. Why? Because there's anger. Okay. And the reason there's anger is because they don't like themselves. Okay. It's a projection. Okay. Well, what I can tell you is, you know who wants a free Whopper? Let me tell you who wants a free Whopper, man. Someone who likes that free thumbs down, I guarantee you. Okay. Because I don't know anyone doing them, okay, at a good level, high level, focused on them. I don't know anyone who wants a free Whopper, man. Even if it's free, like, you can't give me that shit, B. I don't want no free Whopper, man. Yeah, if right, guys, I don't even eat. Sometimes I don't even have the complimentary breakfast in this hotel. I'm paying $3,000 a month. Okay. They can give away a free Whopper right now. I'm not going downstairs. Okay. It's true. Okay. Does it make me better than someone? No. But I'll tell you right now, someone eating a free Whopper, complaining about me, while I'm up here not bothering them, I'm coming down there, smack that Whopper out the mouth. Now I'm not going down this way. But you get my point? How could you be downstairs eating a free Whopper, man, and mad at me for not eating a free Whopper, just doing me? I'll tell you why. Because you know damn well the reason you hate me is because you're eating a free Whopper, not because you want to, but because you have to. Okay? But the reason you have to is because you didn't do what you need to do for your life. And now you're 60 in a shared apartment, okay? And you look at me, okay, as either I got to entertain you every day, because you can't be bored with me, God forbid, right? What if you actually bored with yourself? Okay? Well, what if that was the case? Okay? But I understand, okay? I understand human nature. And I understand why most people will never share their life. Because I understand why Facebook never put the thumbs down, because it psychologically fucks some people up. Okay. And I understand why people stop making videos. I understand why people talk about other people in the videos they got on to talk about themselves. I understand. Okay. I understand, guys, how you get people to shop and spend more than they need. Peer pressure. Okay. Impulse buying. I understand that the minute you put up a boundary with someone who wants to control you with money, they're going to be irate. Okay. But when they can't control you with money, okay, and when you can set your own price for your own life, that offends some people. Okay. For the people who know what the hell I'm saying, guys, they know they got a choice to do whatever they want. Okay. Because let me tell you something. If you don't think I give overall direct talk, I think you're in a shared apartment, okay? And not because you want to, okay? Because I see the effort and the time you put into replying to comments, to monitoring comments, to creating content. I see, and I see how you let the psychopaths run the insane asylum because you can't afford not to. Okay. You can't afford, okay? You damn sure can't afford the math memberships. You can't afford none of that shit. Okay. You could barely afford to go to Walmart, man. But here's why. It's not because there's something bad about that. It's because you were scared to work at Walmart. That's why. Okay. Don't be scared of work. Ain't gonna bite you. Do we have to put up with negative people? Yeah, but you got two choices in life. You put up negative people at work, or you live with negative people you got to put up with. Two choices. Okay. I know there was a nomad girl. She used to live in Tampa. She reached out to me a couple times. She was living with an abusive guy. The guy said, look, if you're going to live here in this shared apartment, you got to give me a blowjob. Okay. Yep. Now, I don't know the whole story, so I don't make the judgment, but I guarantee you there's some people living that life. Okay. So I don't know what's worth. Look, you got to work at Walmart with a person with a bad attitude, or you got to come home and give a blowjob to someone because you're not working. I'll take the Walmart job, man. Okay. Keep your free Whopper. I'll take the Walmart job, man. I'll take the DoorDash job. I'll take the YouTube job. Take the IT job. Take the construction job. Man, keep your shit. Keep your apartment, man. I'll live in a car. That's the reason. Okay. I'll do whatever I want. That's the reason. Okay. And let them come back in. Because let me tell you something. People with this attitude, they think they got somewhere to go. They ain't got nowhere to go. Why? Because they got no options. They leave and then they come right back in. Why? Because they ain't going nowhere. Why? Because they live. They ain't got, what are they gonna do? Go look at their roommate? They ain't gonna go look at their roommate. They're going right back to YouTube, in their room with no windows, okay? No life. Okay. Let's go back to live comments. ESP. You know you've made it, Sam, when you've had haters. Don't let the haters get you down. No, it's a teachable moment. Look, I didn't make it when I had haters. I make it when my revenue went up and my expenses went down, and I'm willing to basically look like a poor person for my own personal preference. That's when I made it. I made it when I showed up. And I made it when I showed up with 90% of my videos talking about myself, my experiences, or RVs or something, not other people. You never made it when you made it on the back of someone else's content or talking about a dead girl because it got more views. You never made it. Even if you made it, you sold your soul. You sold your soul for a free Whopper, man. That's the type of people you deal with out there, man. I don't know anyone giving away free shit other than child predators, man. I remember there was a guy on my street one time growing up. I was riding my bike. He pulled over, offered me a fucking piece of candy, jump in his car. And I thank God I just rode my bike out the fuck out of Dodge. You know what you do when someone offers you free things to get in their car? You just like a panhandler. Don't make eye contact, keep going. Okay. Remember, if someone gives you something free, it's only suck you in. And nothing free in life, man. Nothing. Okay. But I'll tell you what's not worth it. Anything where basically for you to make it, you gotta criticize someone else. I know people that had channels about their own thoughts, their own creativity, but their channel didn't make it. So you know what they did? They reverted back to criticism. I know people like that. Nice people too, huh? Nice people. Yeah. That's what nice people do. When they can't make it on their own merits, you know what they do? They make it on the back of someone else's merits. Okay. And I think about not just those nice people, but those nice people that say they're supporters of that nice person. What type of people are these? They're probably both in shared apartments. Okay. So, this is what we deal with in life. It's okay. It's a teachable moment. Thank you, ESP. I love you. Twisted. Sam, what's up? Sorry I'm late. Nothing to apologize. Come and go as you want. Love and appreciation to you, Twister. Thank you for all your positivity, Marcel. I am earning good money here right now. If I return to the U.S., I might start from the bottom, probably. I am considering Florida since it's cheaper. Well, it's cheaper in some aspects than California, but there's also a lot of economic opportunity in California depending on your industry, especially personal training. But if you come to Florida or if you come to California, you have to make sure that you monitor the good areas. You don't want to come to Ocala, Florida and think you're making money. That's basically destitute land. You don't want to go in some bad parts of California. It's basically homeless city. You want to study the good economic areas with low crime rate, high disposable income levels, and that's where you want to plant your roots. Why? Because it's fertile ground. I could show you parts of California that are third world country. I could show you parts of Florida that are basically agriculture poverty land. You won't know that until you come. You're in a foreign land. Even coming from New Jersey to Florida, it was a foreign land. That's why I waited so long to do my research. Just now, after 3 years, I'm considering a home base. Why? I did my research. Okay. And even now, I'm slow to commit. Why? Why do I need to rush? To prove something? No, I ain't doing that. I stay in my car forever. It don't matter to me. As long as I can or whatever, a hotel, whatever I got to do. What I want to tell you is this, Marcel, do the research. Go where there is low crime, strong middle class or upper class, and there's disposable income. You don't buy the house, you don't rent the house, you buy into the neighborhood. You buy into the opportunity zone, okay? They're giving away cheap land in cheap areas with low economic activity, with low infrastructure. If it's cheap, it's for a reason, okay? There's certainly overpriced things, okay? Certainly, especially in times of inflation. But what I can tell you is I've done videos about homes in nice areas for under 150,000 in Florida, okay? And what I can tell you is there's some people so lazy, they don't work, they still say they can't afford it. Let me tell you something. You'll be in a shared apartment the rest of your life talking about you can't get into housing because you put no effort into your life. You're quick to click the thumbs up, and you're slow to take the DoorDash order. You're slow to take the job. I know who type of people I'm dealing with. And let me tell you something. It don't matter if it's inflation or deflation. These people are parasites to your soul. You never want to have a long day minding your business and you come home to these people, because these people, okay, they are complainers, they're critics, they're news watchers, they're fake reporters, they're fake nice people. Okay. And what I could tell you, you don't want to share a Whopper with them. You don't want a complimentary breakfast with them, okay? And you damn sure don't want to share your sanctuary with them, okay? Because how can the devil and God reside in the same house? They can't, okay? But I'll tell you this, when you ain't got enough money, you living with the devil, B. Why? Beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay? So what I can tell you is this, guys. Hell's Kitchen is not just in Manhattan, okay? Hell's Kitchen is any time you wake up in the middle of the night in a shared apartment and your roommate's in there, okay? And you open up the fridge at the same time, okay? Work the night shift, B, okay? Instead of watching YouTube all night, okay? That's a difference, okay? Because you don't want to wake up in your 60s, you ain't got enough Social Security, okay? And this is the reason, okay, that certain people are a certain way. It's because they need entertainment. They need something to get away from their reality. Their reality is Hell's Kitchen, man. That's the reality. So, a lot to think about there. Adam, $1,915 a day at work. I'll get 5% of that. Well, that's great. Awesome. Congratulations. Good job showing up. Number one is 10% of, let's just round it up, 2,000. 10% of 2,000 is $200. So half of that is 100. So if you made $100 a day, 100 times 52, there's 52 weeks in a year, that's $52,000 gross. Now, no one really works 7 days a week unless you totally have to. That's unhealthy. It's unsustainable for long periods of time, even though I did it for periods of time. So if you work 5 days a week and you made $100, $100 a day, which you can easily make on DoorDash or whatever, it's about $15 an hour. That's what you're pretty much working for. $100 times 5, there's 5 days in a week, Monday through Friday, you have the weekends off. That's $500 a week, okay, times 52. Okay, you're basically making $26,000 a year. $26,000 a year is just above poverty, not in the middle class. I'd say to get in the lower middle class, you got to be around 35,000. So you're making $26,000 a year if you average $100 a day. If you're making 5% off a $1,900 sale, that's what about you're making. So you got to increase your income, okay, and you got to pick up side hustles because that's not enough money. Especially you got like 4 kids, you going back and forth with this ex-girl. You gotta change jobs because you could be making more at Walmart and doing DoorDash on the side. So whatever job you're doing, you're pretty much working for poverty wages. That's not good. So I mean that's negative. I'm being negative towards you. I don't want to be negative towards you, but I want to be an encouragement. I don't want to just take from you. I rather me tell you something that's helpful than pander to you. Okay, like I see some people doing, and basically just yesing you to death because, hey, I want your super chat, I want your membership, let me just fucking yes them to death. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna disrespect you. So one is I want to respect you for showing up. You did more than most people. Congratulations. Number two is I want to tell you, long term, that's not sustainable for yourself or your family. And with your intelligence, and I've seen your videos, you have intelligence. With your physical ability, I've seen your videos, you have physical ability. With your mental ability, I've seen your videos. You can make more than $100 a day, and that's gross. That's before taxes. So you can make more than $26,000 a year. Uh, Again, I think you could work at Target, make $15 an hour, and do DoorDash on the side. You'd probably make $40,000 a year if you hustled it, if you showed up consistently and did a lot of it. So you got to run the numbers because what a lot of people that tend to be in the lower middle class or poverty, what they look at is the wrong numbers. They look at how much payment per month, how much is the payment, or they look at the $1,900. But you got to know what 5% of $1,900 is, about $100. And $100 a day, 5 days a week, is $26,000 a year. You got to know that, and that's before taxes. That's before health care. That's poverty. You're gonna be living on subsidies. You're never gonna get out of it. So, like I say, I've seen your videos. I don't know you personally, but I tell you that you can do better than that, in my opinion. Because I know people I've seen not, but they show up. They work with. You got a nice personality too, a very positive person. Yeah, you could show up, not bother anyone. You make more than that doing a security job at the night shift. Yeah, that's true. Just ride around the fucking mall. So I love you. I hope that helped you. And I respect you, and I thank you for showing up at your job for yourself, and you'll keep going forward. Twister, we're here for you, Sam. Well, I appreciate that. There's more positive than negative. And like I say, for me, I'm not crying the blues. I'm not singing this sad song. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm using my experiences in life as teachable moments, okay? As long as I maintain my self-care. My self-care is first. If I felt something was really toxic for me, I need to shut down. Why? Because self-care. Okay, but if I feel that I have the capacity to deal with something and I'm not hurting someone and I need to address something, I'll address it. So that's what I'm doing. Good job, Marcel. I'm sure that you're headed in a positive direction, Sam. Thank you. You're knowledgeable and, more importantly, wise. Well, I thank you for both of those compliments and the grace of God. I don't deny that, and the help of others. And I think through all that and the fact that 90% of my content, 90% of my life is not based on me criticizing other people. It's based on me creating my own life. I think that is what allows me to persevere, okay, in a healthy way. Again, thank you. Twisted Sam, you're a legend. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, again, I don't think too highly of myself, but I don't think too lowly of myself. No one's above you, no one's beneath you, and never let anyone put you in a corner. Why? Because if they're in a shared apartment, they don't have nowhere to criticize anyone, okay? ESP. When people think you're broke, they don't ask to borrow money. Yeah, hey guys, look, I had a homeless person come up to me several times, okay? And they say, can I get some money? I said, I'm homeless too. I looked at them, and then I walked away, okay? And so what I can tell you is this, guys. I've given away money. And what I've learned in life is anyone who is on the street 90% of the time is there because of drug, alcohol, or mental problems. I know people that are on government subsidies. I'm glad they're on them because they need help. But if you're willing to get into the system, into the program, you can get a level of help. It's not going to be great, but it'll be a level of independence, okay? And you can do something on the side. Whether I know people who clean rooms on the side, and they, look, they do what they need to do, make their life as independent as possible, okay? But I'll tell you this, guys. I've lived both lives, guys. I've lived looking very rich, okay? And my net worth was very low. And guys, right now, I look very broke, and my net worth is very high. It's all fact. And even if someone don't believe it, it don't matter to me. Why? Because, guys, look around. I'm not sharing this space with no one. In any of my videos, you guys look at my 3,000 videos, okay? There's no shared space, okay? Okay. No, and there's no free Whopper giveaways. There's no meetups. There's none of that shit, guys. Okay. There's no I'm scared to put up a paywall. I'm scared. No, none of that. Because, guys, I always tell you guys, I'm not controlling you guys. If you don't find value here, don't come here, okay? I treat you like adults, not children, okay? And I damn sure don't let people run my comment section. Why? Because this ain't your channel, this is my shit, okay? And I'll tell you right now, someone in a shared apartment, they can't do that. And I don't say that to boast. I say that as a teachable moment to empower you, okay? Because ESP and all you people, I know you guys are very smart. I just told Adam, look, because he's a smart guy, I watch his videos. Some of these other creators that claim to be nice people too, what I realize is they don't really get invested in their other creators' channels and watch them and get involved. And what I can tell you is, like, I'm not. There's certainly certain times but most I check people out. Okay, spend time watching, spend time thinking about them. Okay, and what I can tell you is, okay, there's plenty of people that have plenty of talents. They don't have to be a rocket scientist. They don't have to make 100 grand a year, but they can make more than 26. They can make 40. Okay, and there's some people they may max out 26. Someone making $26,000 a year is better than someone making $12,000 a year on Social Security in their 60s and they're not even working on the side. Like I said, my mom worked in Acme at the side and collected Social Security until 70. I see a grown man in his 60s criticizing other people because he needs some supplemental income, and basically using a dead woman as a title thumbnail grabber for 2 weeks. I look at that like, B, that's not funny to me. That's sad and angry. Okay. So what I can tell you is this, guys, better to look like a broke person. Okay. And there's no shame in being a broke person than being a bad person. And a bad person is not just a serial killer, it's a fake nice person. Okay. Because money don't make you. Okay. But I'll tell you what'll break you. A roommate, okay, a toxic family member, an abusive spouse. It'll break you. And if you don't believe me, you haven't lived life. You haven't shared space with someone. Okay. You say, well, I had a couple of good roommates. Yeah, all right. Well, what'd you do at that time then? With this good environment? If you had a good roommate, if you had a good share, what did you do to build your life? Did you start to say, you know what I can do to build my life? I can start criticizing other people. I got all this time. I can buy some puppets. I can give away free whoppers. I can make I could make a channel about my thoughts and ideas, but no one watches. So you know what I should do? Go back to what people watch. Okay. Don't be like that. Okay. You tell people you want to watch, I appreciate you. And if you don't, kick rocks. Okay. If you want to click the thumbs up, great. If you don't, fuck you. Not fuck you, but you know what I mean. I mean, that's a little exaggerated. And look, I had some guy too, man, and I tried to apologize to him because I thought I don't want to say it, but I just want to say this: that I've seen some people say they don't care about money, and it's about more the meaning of life, and I see them do risky investments because they want to make money. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, but don't bullshit me either. Talk about that. Talk about, you know what? I'm living with this spouse. I'm sleeping in a separate room. I don't want to be here, but I need a little bit more money to be independent. Tell me what God says about that. Okay? But every time I hear philosophy, it's not about that. It's about, we're in this material world. Yeah, all right. Okay, but tell me about you, your life, your story. You don't want to tell me about your story. See, your testimony is what delivers people, not what even the Bible says. Your testimony even above the Bible, because it's your life. You overcome by the testimony and the blood of the Lamb, the grace of God. You don't have to read any of the Bible, okay? But you share your life. You recognize some level of humility, however you want to do it. But your testimony is different between you testifying about your life and your experiences and your thoughts versus you criticizing other people's testimony. There's a big, guys, there's God and the devil. Who is the devil? The accuser of the brethren. Okay. Liar, stealer, steal content, steal this. Okay. Comes disguised as what does the devil come disguised as? An angel of light, nice guy, nice person. So, what I tell you tonight, guys, is none of us are holier than thou, including me. Now, I certainly don't want to get on a high horse, okay? Because I certainly need grace. But I certainly want to look back at my life, look back at my channel, and say, you know what, I made some mistakes, but 90% of it was based, okay, on my own testimony, not on tearing down someone else's. And if I can do that, okay, I can finish my race, okay? But if I look back at my life at 60, 70, And I say to supplement my Social Security, I had to criticize other people. I look at my life and I start looking at an alcohol bottle, okay? Because I don't like what I see, okay? And that's, guys, that's some powerful truth. Let's take a drink break. Wendy, or want to steal stuff. Hey guys, look, when you, I don't have any, guys, I've had thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. I had Versace clothes. I had luxury cars. Guys, I had models. Guys, guys, look, let me tell you something. When you have all that stuff, guys, it's a constant worry. It's fun, I'm not gonna lie, but it's also a constant burden, okay? And it's a little bit of a facade. When you got nothing of high value other than your own well-being, guys, look, I don't want someone to bang my car, but, guys, look, you know, anything I have, I can go to Walmart tomorrow and replace, okay? I told my mom today, I said, Mom, look, I'm still deciding, what, I said, but to be honest with you, I got this car. I could just ride it till it dies, go to the car dealership tomorrow, okay? And to be honest, even if I ain't got a job, I could buy one cash, okay? However, I don't think, okay, that I should stop working, live off my savings, get into my 60s, and then say, oh shit, I shouldn't have stopped working. Okay. See, that's how you end up fucked up. Okay. I know some people, young people, and it's very sad. Okay, and sometimes they make videos about me. I say, let me let this guy slide because he's young. You don't understand. I've been young. I see young people. Okay, they work to get what they need, and this is what Bob Wells teaches. That's why I don't fuck with Bob Wells a little bit. Okay, I think I respect him. I don't want to speak bad about him. I don't want to criticize him, but I want to add and I want to rebuke him a little bit. He tells you, just do enough to get by. Don't do that, guys. If you work seasonal jobs, you're never going to build a career. You're never going to get ahead. And if you don't start a couple businesses like Bob Wells did, you're going to end up getting interviewed by Bob Wells instead of being Bob Wells. And if you get interviewed on how you live on $800 a month, let me tell you something. Respect to those people, but that's not something that if you have a choice, you should decide to do. Okay. Especially if you have the ability to do better. Okay. Because I can tell you guys right now, when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s, you're deciding what your life is going to be like in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. Because you can't turn it on like that. Look at Michael Jordan, guys, when he played for the Wizards. Look at him now. He can't turn up like he turned up when he was with the Bulls. He can't turn up like that. No matter how much talent, age, father time. See, some people think they're going to be Michael Jordan. They think they're going to be in their 20s where they can just get a job like this. They can run around like this. They got the energy like this. But what they don't realize, Michael Jordan had all the abilities, all the work ethic in the world. But when he got into his 50s, guys, he couldn't even, guys, he cannot hang right now in the NBA. Even Kobe at the end of his career was a killer mentally. He kept blowing his ligaments out. Even me with this Jeep Renegade, guys, no matter how much I take care of it, the mileage and the age, take your time to figure out what you want. Live below your means so you have more options. But don't be lethargic, man. Because it's going to change your life. When you wake up and you're doing things not because you want to, because you have to. But most importantly, you're living with people not because you want to, but because you have to. That is a different life. When you go back to your home and when there's someone else in it and you don't want them to be in it, life is harder than it needs to be. Okay? And if you live in your car, I'm not saying it's better, but I'm saying use that as a time to position your life that as long as you get some of God's grace, you do what you need to do so you don't have to share that intimate space with someone else if you don't want to. That's a powerful thing. Okay. Uh, Back to live comments. Forgive me, guys, for being late. Mandy, piggyback on you comment. Wow, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little late to that. Forgive me, Wendy. Thank you for everything. Um, ESP laughing good. Wendy, I was responding to you. That's why I keep the outside of my van very plain. No, ESP, you're very smart. You protect your privacy. You're very diligent, and I respect how you move. Very classy woman, in my opinion. Wendy, I keep cheap rain guards on mine. Laughing. They also can't see my window is cracked. Well, like I say, Wendy, you're positive. Okay, you try to do what you need to do for you. And what I've learned in life is if you mind your business, okay, and focus on your own journey, one is it's going to keep you busy the rest of your life, and two, it's going to keep you out of trouble. How do you get in trouble? You start minding other people's business. How do you stay out of trouble? Mind your own business. Okay, very simple lesson. Okay, good job. Kathy, good evening, Sam. Good evening. Shout out to Chicago, Kathy. Marcel, thank you again for that gracious tip. I hope my words helped you in some way. God bless you. Thank you, Marcel. Kathy, did you go feed the squirrels today? Yes, I did. I'm very fortunate for that. How was your day? Overall, it's a positive day, productive. I'm very thankful and appreciative. How was your day? ESP at Wendy, me too. I have rain guards. Wendy, I also have anti-cruelty volunteer bumper sticker. I do volunteer at the animal shelter on my free time. Well, love to you, Wendy, and appreciation to you. And you'll see, too, I mean, animals don't like shared environments. When I had a dog, there was another dog for a short period that came to live with me. And what my dog didn't like to be around other dogs, okay? I guess very similar personality of me. And so if you ever visited an animal kennel, I mean, I guess Wendy can testify to this. Animals need their space. Whether it's even their own cage is not enough space. A shared apartment is like being in an animal shelter. You're there because it's an emergency. You're destitute. Yeah. An animal shelter, guys, is for destitute animals. They got nowhere else to go. They can't afford to be on their own. They can't survive on their own. And what you're going to find if you wake up in a shared apartment, and it's not because you want to, every day you don't know if you're going to get put to sleep or if you're going to have to bark until you stop crying or if someone's going to come rescue you. And what I can tell you in life as a human, different than a dog, if you're in a first world country, you can rescue yourself, okay? Start doing, okay? Good job. Adam, it was 84 degrees Fahrenheit in Michigan. I guessed we skipped spring. Yeah, well, that's how up north gets. It goes from cold to hot, it'll go back to cold, and then when it's the height of the summer, it's a stingray heat. And it can get actually more humid in certain areas up north than it is in Florida. So the time you want to be up north is the end of August, the beginning of September, fall. The very end of summer is the time to be up north. The height of summer, it's nasty. It's almost like the humidity of Florida, okay? Maybe a little bit. The main thing that bothers people in Florida is that when you get to September, it's still like the height of the summer and even into October. And that's what wears people out. The best time to buy a house in Florida is September and October because that's when people pull the parachute. They say, I can't believe it. We're still not at fall. You don't get to fall weather till about late November, December. Officially, hurricane season doesn't end to the end of November. So it's really not till you get to December that you get to the really low humidity. See, like right now it's still beautiful in Florida, okay? And it will be beautiful into the late July. And late July into the end of October is what breaks people's because it's another level of heat, okay? And they think that there's something better, And then there is fall season up north, but what happens after fall is something very nasty. It's called winter. Okay. And what happens after winter is something very cold and disappointing, which is called spring. And what happens after spring is something called summer, where everyone jams the shore or the lake because they've been hibernating all weekend, all winter. And then what comes fall, which is probably the best time to be up north. And that's the cycle of life. Twisted Sam. The haters are literally not worth a fraction of your time, not even a single breath. Now, I agree, this is teachable moment, not eye for an eye. Because believe me, guys, there's a whole nother level if I'm going eye for eye. I'm not going eye for an eye. I'm going teachable moment. Pivot, use the energy of negativity to positivity. Teachable moment. And that's what we're doing. Good job. ESP. At Wendy. The Anti-Cruelty Society, that's a good organization. They must have a tough time during the pandemic. Well, no, they probably got government assistance, small business loans, etc. I would think. I could be wrong. And with more people getting stimulus and unemployment checks, remember, most of society had more money than before the pandemic, and so you got disposable income, and that went to a lot of different places. You know, that's why you have inflation. If you had deflation, that means there'd be more of a struggle, but you have inflation because that means there's been more of a surplus. Wendy, 80 degrees in Chicago too. I meditate while watering the grass. Enjoyed that a lot today. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. I find serenity in that. Me too. It's my client's lawn, but I treat it as my own. And that's why you prosper. Why? Because you have respect. Love to you, Wendy. Suitcase. Living by yourself. Suitcase. You just scored a field goal. Good job, Suitcase. I love the dancing guy. Check out my community tab where I got the OJs, backstabbers. Yeah, they smile in your face all the time and want to take your place. Yeah, go watch that video. Wendy? Yeah, they're trying to slowly open again. Volunteers weren't allowed, only staff during the pandemic. Oh, okay. Charles, what's up, man? Hold on, let me put my air conditioner up. Hey, Charles, what's up, brother? Great to see you, man. What's up, Sam? I went to church last Sunday. Awesome. And it felt good to praise the Lord. Nothing wrong with that. That's positivity. I feel like if I don't go to church every once in a while, all the negativity of the world can get me. I think it's a reset. I spent 10 years in the church. Was there every Sunday, just about every Bible study. We had our own. Had my own ministry for a while. So I got a good foundation from committed to the church life. I also got disillusioned a little bit, but overall my experience was positive. Overall, the pastors and the people were positive, and I think there's a season of life to build spirituality. Obviously, religion can get nasty, but I am thankful for that experience. It made me a better person, and that's why I went. I didn't go to play the church game. I went to build my life, okay? Because I didn't want to stay in a strip club. I didn't want to stay impressing friends. I didn't want to be around negativity. But to get confidence, to get support, I went to a support group. Okay, I didn't go to play therapy. I didn't go to sit there and never become better and never leave. I went there to build my life. And if you go to church to build your life, not to criticize other people, you'll figure out your life. Okay. But when you don't seek, you don't find. See, some people go to church to criticize other people. I've seen that. I almost got caught in. And some people have YouTube channels to criticize other people. Why? It's a money game. Okay, it's a money grab because they try to do a channel about their own life, but it didn't work out. So it's the same thing with the church, guys. Okay, and like the church, I remember one time being in a leadership meeting, and they were playing this thing about how do you correct a member of the church. And they said, well, you can't correct a member of the church roughly, especially if they're a big donor. And it's like there's some critic on YouTube. He won't correct his psychopath followers because he needs them. And guys, I'm quick to monitor the comment section or block or create channel barriers. Why? Because guys, if you can't give your sermon how you want to give it and have boundaries and whatever, then even if your channel's free, you rob the people. You rob the people of the truth, man. Yeah, nice people. These are nice people, right? They give everything free. Free Whopper. Okay, free sermon. Yeah, it's all fucking bullshit, B. Fucking devil, man. Wendy, been the same client for 8 years. Consistency matters. I respect that. She's like my grandmother. Well, nah, I think that's awesome. I respect consistency. Good job. Wendy, been the same client. Oh, yeah, right there. I'm sorry. Charles. A good spiritual atmosphere clears my mind. Yeah, and to me, solitude clears my mind. Get people away from me, but I agree with you. Twista, thank you for sharing the story of your parents' divorce. Thank you for listening. I can relate to it. Thank you. Though my parents never divorced, their marriage has been a 22-year-old nightmare. Like I say, guys, thank you for sharing, Twister. Testimony is what makes people overcome. Testimony in the grace of God. People got married because of peer pressure in previous generations. People buy houses for peer pressure. People try to act rich for peer pressure. Okay, look, guys, let people think you're broke. Let people think you're dumb, destitute. At the end of the day, if you can live by yourself and live on your terms, it don't matter a motherfucker what people think. You can say dildo, dildo, dildo. Okay? I told you guys, you know how you have a YouTube channel on your terms? If you don't have nothing else to say, just make a video and say yabba dabba do. Okay? And shut the thing off. You know, if you're really a creator. If you're a critic, guys, you know, come on, guys, you ain't doing shit. Okay? Because you tried to have a YouTube channel on your own creativity and people didn't buy into it. So what do? You know, you become a parasite. You know, you talk about other people because no one will talk about you. I understand. Nice people. These are nice people, guys. Okay, very nice people. Let's talk about. Let's stay positive. Okay. Wendy, I have tinted back windows. I like to park in hospitals and hotels. Feel safer. I park before shift, change, leave before shift, working far. Part of the reason I'm in a hotel is because stealth camping got too risky, less reward for my current state. Look, at this point, with enough saved up, with steady income, with no debt, even though I enjoy some stealth parking, I may go back to some of it. Really, my risk reward is too high. And I've been stopped. I had to knock by cops. I did videos about. I share my own life. Didn't have to share someone else's. But at this point, even to go through the knock or even to go through a circumstance, it's like the risk reward's not worth it. Now, 2 years ago it was worth it. So I don't say it's never worth it. And I don't say it's not fun. In one sense, I like the fresh air of stealth parking, especially in a good climate. But what I want to share with you is there's a time to do it. I did it. No shame in it. But there's also going to be a period where the risk reward is not worth it. And what I can tell you, some people want you to entertain them. It's boring if you're not doing something. Now, what you tell them, be bored. I don't. You could be bored, okay? As I'm gonna sit my ass in this hotel until the risk reward is different, okay? Or because I feel like it. I'm damn sure not gonna be sitting in a shared apartment. So, stealth camping, I've done it. I don't have to. And what I can tell you is, overall, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, in certain areas, you gotta watch. It's not legal. You gotta be careful. But even when it's not, I mean, most cops are not gonna bust your chops. But once you get flagged, you're flagged. And two is, at a certain point, you have more to lose than to gain. Okay, whether you get an issue with the law, whether it's a little unsafe, whether you're driving more at night and it's not really safe to drive at night. I mean, that was one of my concerns too, just driving at night. The risk reward is like, what am I doing? So I don't know my next step yet because I'm evaluating all those things. I'm taking my time, guys. I'm in my own gym, okay? I can go, and this is what I tell you guys to do for your life. Go when you have options, you go at your own pace. Some people want you to go at their pace because they're bored. They need you to entertain them. Hey guys, look. I remember I was at a bagel spot in Colonia, New Jersey, late night after a club. Okay, I pull up to this bagel spot. There's some young kids out. I'm in a Jaguar. Okay, about $30,000 worth of jewelry on. I jump out of the Jaguar. This is the S-Type when it was hot. Okay, and the young kids like say, "Oh, I love your car. I love your car." And they want me to speed off. Okay, at the end of when I came, I got my bagels. They said, "Oh, why don't you speed off, man? Show us how fast it is." You know what I did? I got in that Jaguar in the butter soft leather seats. And you know what I did? I drove about 5 miles per hour away from them. Why? Because guys, when you have a fast car, you don't have to go fast. When you have a Dodge Charger, you have to burn 5 miles per hour of gallon gas. And you have to have a handicap sticker. Why? Because you have to impress people. Guys, when you're in a good position, you don't have to impress anyone. You go at your time, on your dime. Okay. When you have no options, guys, you have to entertain the masses. You have to do whatever you do to keep them watching. Okay. I want you to pull off slowly, man. Okay. Remember, you think like you're impressing someone by getting dressed up, wearing, Look, your man's gonna end up fucking some big chick, okay, that doesn't look as good as you. And your girl's gonna fuck some unemployed guy in a used Honda Civic. That's the truth, okay? And if you don't do what you need to do, or if you start to make decisions trying to entertain or impress other people, you're gonna wake up 60 in a shared apartment. Okay? This is a teachable moment, guys. I hope you're listening. Okay? Twister. My dad's very negative aura, energy matters, and problematic personality, he needs to be by himself, is what motivated me to want to be as independent as I can from him since I was very young. Twister, I totally agree. There's nothing negative about that statement. That's a very positive self-care statement. Suitcase. Charles, True 100. Charles, good people. I love you, Charles. Shout to you, Suitcase. I love that name, Suitcase and Gas Money. That's independence. ESP, retracted. I love you, ESP. Twisted. So me, my mom, and my brother would never have to ask him for a penny or signature. Guys, I remember there was a certain point where I was in debt. I had bad credit. I had a job, but I couldn't get financing on a car, a used car. I could get financing on a new car, but I didn't want a new car. And they said, look, we can get you financing, but you need a co-signer. And I thought about all the entanglements that I trying to get out of. I was still in the middle of them. And I said, nah, I'm not going back to no co-signer, man. I'm not sharing this note with anyone. And they said, well, then you got to get a new car. It's the only way you're going to get this loan, and it's going to be 25% interest. I paid 25% interest on a new car. And I'm not saying that was a wise decision, but part of my decision-making process, thinking it probably wasn't wise, but what was driving me was I don't want to be on the hook with anyone else. And I needed a reliable car. It wasn't an expensive car. It was like a $20,000 truck, $20,000 van for contracting. But what I want to share with you is when you share a loan with someone else, it's like sharing a room. You're embedded in their life. Even if it's your mother or your father. I'm not saying you can never have exceptions, but I'm saying I've had my father throw up in my face, that owed him money. My last conversation with my father, I'm sharing my life, not criticizing other people. That's the difference between nice people. That's all right. My last conversation with my father, okay, he found out I was living in my car. He didn't like that I didn't tell him. I said, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not parked in your house. I'm not asking you for money. I've been on my own since 22. I didn't get mad at you when you didn't tell me, you were getting remarried. You doing your own life, right? And he goes, well, you should have told me you were selling your house and doing this. I said, look, one is I didn't want to tell him because I was scared enough of my own decisions, right? I didn't. But two is I was under no obligation. But he got upset that he didn't find out, okay? And then so we had this conversation. He started being very spiteful, like he gets when things are not under his control. And he said, well, you know what? You want to do this? You want to be so independent? Well, give me back the $5,000 I'll let you borrow, okay? When you were in debt and you needed help. And I remember when he lent me that money, and I remember saying, I'm going to pay you back. And he said, you don't have to pay me back. I'm your father. I'm helping you. I remember him saying that. But he threw it in my face when he found out he couldn't control my life. And you know what I did? This is my last conversation with my father. I wrote a $5,000 check, sent it in the mail, okay, and never spoke to him again. Changed my number. Okay? I'm not saying that's right. But I'm saying I don't want to share space with someone who, if I'm not doing something that bothers them, they're bothering me. Because to me, life has enough critics. I damn sure don't need a critic as my in my inner circle as my father. I'm dealing with, some people say, well, you're a public figure, you got to take critics. Well, one is if you leave a public comment, now you get criticized too, because now you're in a public record. That's all right. But I said to myself, should your own inner circle be your critic? No, never. Your inner circle is your sanctuary, and if you got no one else, you got yourself. And if you ain't got yourself, you got no one else. You got to remember that, okay? Marcel, Twisted. I can relate. My family story, divorce, international court cases, has been a train wreck. Suitcase. Sam, when on the road, do you use showers in Planet Fitness? Yeah, not, um, out of my 4 years of living on the road, three, 3.5 years were all Planet Fitness showers and truck stops during the pandemic. The last 6 to 8 months before this past week or so, I've been in a hotel. I've also gotten a supplemental gym membership with Anytime Fitness. Why? Well, because during the pandemic, Planet Fitness stopped going 24/7, most of them. I think all of them. And two is other gyms have private showers. And at the end of the day, I needed that private space, okay, to decompress, okay, to not be in like this open space. But I had no problem being in open space. I did it for 3.5 years. But when you've been on the road for a long period of time, one thing that starts to get you is your lack of privacy. And it builds up over time. And so you have to figure out ways to keep your peace, whether it's to get a supplemental gym membership, whether it's to stay at a hotel, Airbnb short term. But that's on your time. A lot of people wanted me to stay in an Airbnb a year ago or stay in a hotel a year ago. I wasn't ready. When will I be ready to leave here? Whenever I'm damn well ready. And whenever I damn well please. Okay. So you guys, look, this is what I'm talking about tonight. It's your life. But it ain't your life, guys, when you can't do what you damn well please. Okay? And you can't always do what you damn well please. Okay. But that's why you got to pay your dues and just keep doing them, because you don't want to be old and you can't do what you damn well please. It's basically like being in an animal shelter. Yeah, that's what it's like. Nah, I'm good. Uh, Twisted at Marcel. Yeah, bro. Honestly, it just makes you proceed the whole thing with crazy caution. Marcel. So true, Sam. Marcel. It can be debilitating. I have been indecisive with regards to many things: education, relationships, trips. Well, it's understandable, number one. Number two is, when in doubt, show up to a job. When in doubt, don't buy. When in doubt, work on self-care, the gym, hygiene, eating well. The worst case, if you do those things, you showed up to a job, you didn't make a heavy financial purchase, and you worked on self-care. The worst thing that happens is you're in shape, you made money, and you're not in debt. That's wholesome advice. So that's what I tell you. Marcel. I read it. I've always found a way, but I want to ride to be a steadier from now on, which is why I'm hesitant to jump in head first into something. Well, it's understandable. I mean, I'm the same way in some regards. And so, like I say, just keep doing the things I talked about, and I think you're a positive person. You'll figure it out. Frankencat, hey, Frankencat. The man groomer's coming soon. Wait till I shave up this summer. I love you, Frankencat. D, great emojis. I love these emojis. There's two Dookie emojis. Oh, that's, yeah. There's a Santa Claus emoji. I think we know who that. There's a troll emoji. I think we know that. There's a pig emoji. Very accurate emoji. There's some insects emojis. There's a free whopper emoji. There's a time emoji. Very old people. There's a trash can emoji. I think we know. Oh, good job with the plunger emoji. D, you're very. And D, you sealed it with the cherry on top. God, D, I hope you're still in here, because I know I'm very late to these live comments. You did an excellent. I always tell you guys, Jesus spoke in parables, he said, because people who wanted truth will seek it. I speak in emojis, which D just spoke for me, is because psychopaths only understand a cartoon illustration. Okay. And so what I can tell you guys, if you don't understand anything I just said in this hour and 45 minutes I've been on this live feed, just look at these emojis. And basically that's the summary. Good job. Adam, hope your evening turns out good and your morning starts out good. You're a very positive person. You can do great. Got to watch this episode with my girlfriend. I don't know if you ever watched the show Narcos on Netflix. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. Love to you, Adam, and enjoy your downtime. You earned it. Good job showing up today, man. I love you. Wandering off. Hey, wandering off. Laughing good. Well, I hope I made you laugh tonight. God bless you, wandering off. Love to you and appreciation. Good. Shout out to Aline. Charles, forgive me because I'm late. 199. Your dad sounds like mine, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, so thank you. Without my dad, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to join the electrical union. Without my dad, he gave child support. He was there. He provided. He didn't abandon us. Okay. He wasn't this outrageously abusive person. So I don't. There's always two sides to a story too. So I don't want to be unfair, but I want to share that there were certain attributes that I didn't like, but I was willing to accept. And I built a life with him in my adulthood that I said, look, if you can do your thing and I won't bother you, let me do my thing. I'm not bothering you, you're not bothering me, and we can meet in a neutral setting and build together. And that worked for a period of time. But over time, he started to infringe on my rights, on my well being. And I said, why are you getting mad about me for something that I'm doing that's not affecting you? He became a critic. And I said, whoa, you know, again, I understand if what I'm doing is affecting you, but this ain't affecting you. And what I found was people don't change. Or most people don't. Maybe there's some exceptions. Sometimes people say, well, why'd you block that person? Why'd you do this? I said, because I know who they're going to be 10 years from now. Same person I'm fighting with. If I'm fighting with you, if I'm fighting with you the first day I met you, how is it going to be 10 years later? I don't want to wake up 10 years later and say, man, all the signs were there. We never got along, tried to make it work. You never really liked me. I never really liked you. I don't want harm on you, but I don't want to fight with my inner circle. I don't want to go home to Satan. I want to go home to a sanctuary. I don't want to go home to a critic. I want to go home to an encourager. Yeah, that's a different life. It's a different life when you go home to an encourager versus going home to a critic. And if you don't believe that, I don't think you've lived life. Or I think you shared your life, but no one cared, and so you turned into a critic. Oh, that's what I think. I think that you got scared that no one cared about what you cared about, so you started to pander to people who don't care about anything. And I said to myself, is this a nice person? I don't know. I don't think so. Charles, thank you, Suitcase. I really didn't want to talk to people at church. I just felt the good vibes and energy during the worship. I feel the spirit. I feel it too. I believe in God. I believe in the spirit. I curse God sometimes too. I try to be fair. ESP. I'm curious, did your father cash a check? He did within 2 days, and that sealed the deal. And someone asked me that too, and that's when I knew it was over. He cashed it within almost as soon as he got it. So, that'd be something too. Like, again, I want to acknowledge he did good things for me. I don't want to try to be unfair. And because I know a lot of people that didn't even have a father. I know a lot of people that their father didn't do as much as mine did. So I want to be fair. But I also want to say, man, like, if I was ever a father and I even threw that in my son's face and then I cast a check, how do you have a relationship after that? You don't. I don't know how you, that's what I mean. It's like, like you gonna leave some crazy comment, you think we're gonna be cool? How do I ever feel safe or loved or encouraged? Which I never. If you're a critic, you think you're gonna be like my friend? How the fuck you gonna be my friend, man? You said, well, I was nice to you 90% of the time. Well, yeah, that's like saying to me, I only fucked you over 10%. Guys, I don't want to be fucked over even if it's 10%. Okay? I'd rather you just talk about you. Okay? I'd rather you just not fuck people over. What type of person says, you know what? I was nice to you 90% of the time, but 10% of the time, okay, I fucked you over. Now, I admit, there's a certain percentage of time I let people down, I hurt people. But my life isn't based on that. My life is not based on being a critic. It's based on being a creator. Okay? And what I tell you is, that Everyone has a story. And my story is actually, in my experience, more positive, more advantaged, more privileged than many others. Only because I've seen many others. Many others have the same or more, but I've definitely met a percentage of people that have had less. I I don't go on this super like guilt trip, okay? Because even within my own family, they had the same opportunities. Some people, didn't take them up. So, but I always tell you guys one basic truth. No one is above me, but I'm not beneath anyone, okay? And I have a standard, okay, for how I want to live. And even if some people feel that standard is unfair, if I am not infringing on your life, don't matter what you think is fair. Now, if I'm infringing on your life, doing something to bother you, then you have a right to, whatever. And this is life. Thank you, ESP. Thank you, Charles. Cal, 299 Super Chat. Keep putting out good, and it'll come back to you. Thank you, Cal. I believe in that. And again, thank you. And I do admit that sometimes I've done bad, but I've tried to self-correct. And I've looked at my overall life and my overall content, and I say, the facts speak for themselves. You can look at me and you can say there's flaws, and it's fair. However, if you're looking at me through the eyes of a critic, you're waiting for the flaws. An encourager is waiting to encourage. A critic is waiting to criticize. That's the difference. A critic tried to share their life. It wasn't exciting, so they started criticizing others. That's the difference. I'll never be friends with a critic. Why? Because they're waiting for the wrong thing. They're waiting to criticize. An encourager is waiting to encourage. You say, is a critic a nice person? I say, well, is Satan a nice person? Is your controlling father a nice person? Is your shared roommate a nice person? Doesn't matter if they're a nice person. You guys share the expenses. Don't matter. That's the truth. And if you can't afford food, the free Whopper is a motherfucking godsend, even if it's from the devil. Okay. And what I tell you is this: go do for yourself. And if you can't do for yourself, go get help from a corporation rather than a cold-hearted bastard. And that's the message tonight. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everyone. See you next one.